friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jessi, also known as Miss Cherry. And if you're a returning subscriber, hi guys, thank you so much for being here. So today I am going to talk to you all about 2022 goals. We are going to talk about every single thing that I want to accomplish in 2022, as well as how I decided on these goals and what I did to try to make them achievable for myself. These types of videos are some of my favorite to watch from other creators, and I thought, why not do one this year? And we go ahead and talk about all things 2022 goals. So if you're curious about why I'm doing this, I'm actually a chronic goal setter. If you know me personally, you know every single year, the last week of December, I sit down and reflect on my previous year and write down goals, SMART goals, and also create a vision board every single year. And I've done that for the last 10 years, excluding 2021. And we all know what happened and why. That was, we were finishing out 2020 and I was just thankful that we survived at that point. So I was just not focused. I was just, all I cared about was getting through the, next following month. And actually during that time we were in full lockdown. So I just wasn't in the right headspace. But honestly, with this incredible disruption that this has provided in all of our lives, I just thought it would be really good to kind of get back my normalcy when it comes to really resetting and thinking about what my year looks like. So what I did and what I do every year is I sit down and I reflect upon the year first. And so I sit down with a notebook. I am actually using my iPad. I have my Apple Pencil right here. But what I do is I sit and I think every single month, what did I do in January? What did I do in February? What did I do in March? And I write down not only accomplishments, but favorite moments and things that are going on in my life that I really enjoyed, highlights. Accomplished, maybe what wasn't accomplished, just kind of a general I really struggled that month, or, something along those lines, just so I can really reflect on the year, not only the good, but also the bad and the ugly, and just in general, because the thing is that the interesting thing about goal setting to me is that I really want to fully understand the circumstances that I went through, in order for me to really think about how I can change to try to help make my life better in the next year, because it's not all about just achieving the most amazing thing. It's definitely not that. It's about bettering yourself in even the smallest way. And so what I do after I look at that list, I think, okay, well, what do I really want to accomplish this year? And I also have a couple of big audacious goals, is what I call them, bags. So a big audacious goal is something that will happen within 1 to 3 years, and I'm going to be sharing that with you today, which might be a pretty interesting one, and I'm probably going to need your input as well. But I'm also hoping to share this information with you, not only to maybe motivate you or maybe have some camaraderie in some goals that are happening in 2022, but also to have a little bit of accountability as well. So I'm sharing this in hopes that it will keep me accountable. And I do plan on doing a follow-up video to this video where I talk about what I did actually accomplish and what my year actually did look like at the end of the year. So I'm telling you that I'm going to be doing that. So hold me to that, guys. But let's go ahead and start and talk about the goals that I have. And if you would please share a goal that you have down in the comments down below, I would love to read them. I make my goals as SMART goals. So that's specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and timely. And then I also do an action plan. So what I do with that is I make sure that I list out small chunks that are going to help get me to where I need to be. So let's talk about the first goal. So the first goal for me is to declutter my house. So I have several rooms that have gotten really cluttered, not only full of Disney things, but also full of just things. I have a craft room that gets a lot of use, but man, she needs cleaned out real bad. And so I've just been feeling like parts of my house have been really cluttered. And so for me, I feel it's important to go ahead and spend the time working on decluttering these spaces, kind of one space at a time, so it's not overwhelming. And so I have created a Mercari marketplace. So that was kind of my first plan of action, was to be able to have a place to sell things if I needed to. And so if you didn't see that video, it came out this last week, where I opened a Mercari marketplace, which is just a shop that I can sell things online with. And so that was kind of my first step to really get and help achieve this goal, because there are some things, like I do have a lot of Disney clothing I need to get rid of, as well as some of the items in my collection really need to go. Like, they're not serving the purpose of like bringing me joy anymore. And I know that there are others in this world that will love them way more than I do. And so it's just time for me to work on decluttering that space. And so I don't really have a lot of due dates kind of associated with this goal, because full disclosure, my husband just had bicep surgery. He tore his bicep and just had to have his bicep reconnected on this last Wednesday. So I'm trying not to put a significant amount of pressure on myself right now. And then also I'm going to have company here in a couple weeks as well. So there's a lot going on in January. So I don't really have like a specific, like, this has to be done by a certain time, but I have been working kind of on and off, like adding things to my Mercari store as I see fit. So I really feel like this goal is definitely achievable for me, and also something that I can keep up with over the time span of the year. So I'm really looking forward to getting everything a little bit more organized in my house. Now, the next thing that I really want to accomplish, the next goal, which may sound really odd, is I really, really want a schedule. Like a schedule for my home. So I run a contracting business, and I have my schedule for work dialed in. She is a well-oiled machine boss lady at work. She gets it done. She knows what she needs to do. She understands her deadlines. She's good. Now, Jessi at home, she's like a Tasmanian devil, okay? She is just all over the place. I'm just like, I'm, how do I describe myself? I'm just a really creative, motivated person. And so I find myself having a lot of things going on all at one time and not really focusing on what really needs to happen, if that makes sense. So what would be really amazing, and what I think would de-stress my life a whole lot, is having, number one, planning. And I am a fabulous planner, by the way. Like, this should not be a problem. Planning things out. Like, I'm specifically talking about content, because I worry about YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, right? So I've got these 3 social media outlets that I have to have organization for, so I can put out content and images and short videos and things along those lines. So I need to plan content. But then also I need to have a schedule for it as well, because right now I'm like flying by the seat of my pants, where I feel like I am highly, highly effective at planning everything else in my life. So this should be something that I should be able to do, which would take a lot of stress off of myself. And then if I have the discipline to stick to it, then I would be unstoppable. But then also I want to incorporate into that schedule the home schedule, right? So it would be like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and also my home life, like dishes, laundry, things like that, where I can really count on, okay, Tuesday nights I need to do this, Wednesday nights I need to do this, you know. And I think that it would allow me to feel that sense of stability that a schedule brings. Like, there is nothing that makes me feel more stable than a schedule. And I just think that that would just really help ease my mind, really help make my life just a lot better. And I feel like I would perform better if I would have that type of schedule. So if you have a schedule for your home, I would love to know down below. I mean, seriously, if you can share any resources with me or books or anything along those lines that may help me get a grasp on this, I would really appreciate it, because I definitely need assistance in that area. Now, the other thing is not only making the schedule, but really implementing it and having that discipline. And that's where I feel like I lack that, because my job is really hard. My work is a challenge, right? And so when I come home, I'm like, meh. But I've got to get into that mentality of like continuing to work after I get home, like on my home and on my YouTube thing and on my TikTok and on my Instagram, you know, all the things. I have gotten a lot of feedback from you all, which I appreciate very much. Thank you for letting me know what you guys wanted to see in 2022, because every year at the end of the year I do ask you guys, what videos would you like to see, and if you have any suggestions, please comment them down below. And a lot of you, like a large majority of you, said you wanted to see what my life was like day in the life videos, those sorts of videos, which that was actually very touching to me, because I love hearing that you guys saw me as a person outside of Disney. Like, I thought that was such a cool thing, that I'm not just Disney to you, and that like really, it just meant a lot. It really meant a lot to me. So thank you for saying that. And so my goal is to do one lifestyle video per month, if not more. And what I mean by that is, like, in January, we are going to go on a little staycation, and we're going to be taking you to the hot springs up north of Fairbanks, Alaska, which is going to be really fun. It's called Chena Hot Springs, and that's going to be our first lifestyle video. And Jackie and I may do, Jackie is my best friend, by the way, if you didn't know. Jackie's going to be here staying with us, and we may do more than that. So anyway, that is my goal, though, to do one lifestyle video per month, and I definitely think that's a very easily achievable goal. So I'm going to do that. Next, I have a really exciting announcement. I'm wearing my Run Disney shirt that I got. Oh my gosh, it's from Zippity Tees. Is this like the cutest thing ever? And I'm wearing the ears that are on my t-shirt, and it says Run Disney 1994. That's when it was established, and it says 2022 because guess what? I'm gonna run the Wine and Dine half marathon this year. I am so excited. So if you've been following along on the channel for a while, you may know I am very, very into Run Disney. I did the Coast to Coast half marathons in 2017. And then in 2020 and 2021, I participated in several virtual races. And by several, I mean 9, something like that. A lot. It was a lot of races. But I decided this year, I'm like, you know what? I want to do it in person, and I'm so excited. Please, Optimus Prime, go away, please. What I love about Run Disney is there is just nothing like it. It is such a unique and fun experience, especially in person, and especially at Disneyland, although they don't have any Disneyland races. They haven't had one since 2017. I don't foresee it coming back anytime soon. But I cannot wait to do this in person again. I plan on taking you guys with me on the journey. I want to make a costume. I want to train. I want to do a lot of things that go along with running a half. This will be my 7th half marathon. Oh, I should have thought about that before my video. I should have counted my medals. I've had a lot of half marathons. So it'll be one of them. I'm so prepared for this video. See, this is where the schedule would come in. Anyway, moving on. So what's so exciting about the Wine and Dine half marathon is it's villains themed, which is so fun, but also because of my husband's injury, I have asked him if he would want to participate with me because he is a really fit guy. He loves physical activity. He is a mountain climber, rock climber, ice climber, hunter, you name it. Like, he is always outside, always super active. He also lifts weights all the time. And so with his injury, he's got to do a lot of cardio heavy physical therapy and work. And so I asked him, I said, you know, would this be something that you are interested in? And he's like, yeah, I would love to do that. Like, I've never done that before. And I was like, in Disney? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, yes. I'm turning that man into a Disney man, I'm telling you. And so we are, yeah, we're gonna start working towards that, which I'm so excited. I'm not in running shape right now. Like, I really need to get on the treadmill and get going. But I am just so looking forward to it, and looking forward to meeting a lot of wonderful people that I've connected with through YouTube, because so many amazing people are going to be there, and I'm ecstatic. I cannot wait. And we are going to be staying at Port Orleans Riverside, which is my most favorite moderate resort ever. So it's going to be a great experience. If you're going to do the wine and dine half, please let me know down below, because I would love to say hello to you while you're there. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to this goal, and also finally crossing that finish line at Epcot. Oh my God, I can't believe that. I'm like gonna cry. I'm so excited. And then the next one is a health goal. So if this is triggering to you, click away. I need to lose some pounds. I have gained a lot of weight over the Delta Airlines, Pandora Express, Corventina, Optimus Prime, whatever you want to call it. It's just the truth. I just have. And I know that a lot of people say, well, don't worry about a number. Well, here's the thing. So right before I started YouTube, I was a very fit person. I had a very catastrophic hip injury that took me out of working out for a long time. And that's kind of a big part of why I got into YouTube as an outlet. And so for me, I'm like really dialed into what my body responds to. I'm really dialed into where I need to be weight-wise. I'm really dialed into understanding what my body can handle and what it cannot, especially with my injury. And so it's time. It's time for me to focus on it. It's time for me to get myself back and feel good about myself, because with all the extra weight that I have, I just don't feel like myself anymore. And so, yeah, I'm kind of at my wit's end with myself. Like, I'm ready for, I'm just ready to feel good about myself again. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know that there's a lot of negative connotation that comes with, you know, saying that you want to lose weight or saying that you want to do these sorts of things. But I think that we need to remember that everyone is on their own personal journey, and what may work for some and what may be good for some may not be good for others, and that's okay. But for me, this is something that needs to happen. I'm not super comfortable sharing the number that I want to be at, but just know that I am going to be working heavily towards reducing the pounds that I have on my body, especially because running a half marathon, an actual half marathon where you're outside, is much different than running on a treadmill, which I've been doing for the last 2 years. So it's much more physically strenuous than being on a treadmill that is, you know, designed to help keep your knees healthy and those sorts of things. So, I definitely think that training for a half is going to help with that. And also I plan on being very present for my husband's physical therapy and really helping him through his injury, because as an athlete, for him being injured, it's just a really hard thing. If you are an athlete or you have an athlete in your life and they've been injured, it's just a really difficult mental, it's more mental than physical. And so I need to be there for him and help motivate him to make sure that his recovery is everything that it should be, to get him back to 100% where he needs to be. So I do think that I'll be able to achieve this goal because of that. But yeah, I'm like looking forward to like wearing my pants again. Not that I'm not wearing pants right now, like I have pants. They're just stretchy. Okay, anyway, moving on. Moving on to the next goal. This goal is kind of fun, actually. I really need to take more pride in my appearance when it comes to professional situations. So over the last 2 years, I have just really kind of lost my way when it's come to what I wear to work, which I know is a really weird thing to say, but I just feel like I've been so beat down by by the Delta Airlines, Pandora Express, Corventina, whatever you want to call it. I've been so beaten down by that like I just go to work in the same clothing that I always wear. I wear jeans and a sweater and I'm like, okay, we're good. But I have really just lost that sense of style. I've lost who I used to be, which was the girl who always had some sort of extra jewelry, hair done, makeup done, looking cute all the time, wearing high heels. Like, that was me. Like, I want me back. And it's time for me to start buying a couple more professional pieces to keep in my closet. I also really would like to incorporate maybe a seasonal wardrobe. I've seen some people do, what is it, like 8 pieces a season? Isn't that the rule? It's like 8 different pieces. But I want to get on my weekly manicure. My hair appointments need to be regularly scheduled, like those sorts of things, like taking myself back. And this all has to do with putting myself on a schedule, so I better do that. But what I will not give up, if you follow me over on Instagram, you know, Disney Fridays, Disney Casual Fridays will never go away, so don't be sad or worried about that. That goal is so achievable. I don't think we got any problems with that goal. Next, I have a big audacious goal that I need to talk to you guys about in my silly headband. So, my husband and I have been thinking about this for many years. And we have come to the time in our lives where it's time for us to make a big decision. And that decision is whether or not to have an investment property in Florida for ourselves to enjoy and also for us to rent out. So we have worked so hard. We have worked so hard in our adult lives to get to where we are. And we are now in the position where it's time to make that decision if we really want to invest in property. And when I say invest in property, I mean a vacation home is what I'm really talking about that can be rented out. So ideally that would be like a 3 to 4 bedroom home, hopefully possibly with a private pool and hot tub. That would be an investment property for us that we would rent out and then also use. Hopefully, we're hoping 4 weeks out of the year. We're not 100% sure what is best for our family right now, but that's kind of what we're thinking. But I have so much to research. Like, I have got to start this process now, and then I need to decide if I'm not going to invest this year, I need to invest the money that we have saved in other things to help grow that investment for ourselves in the interim while we're deciding. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me. And if you live in Florida or if you have ever purchased a vacation home or have information about it, I would love to speak with you about it. I'm also kind of looking for a real estate agent. I would love to know if you have a favorite neighborhood around the Disney World, Universal Studios area. I'm really interested in Claremont, and then possibly interested in Winter Garden. Winter Garden is a little bit more expensive, but if you have any experience in this, if you would please DM me over on Instagram or comment down below and I'll get a hold of you. But there's just so much to research and so much that goes along with this decision. But we were thinking that this could be an amazing investment for us because it would basically, if we could get it, it would be self-sustaining for the most part. We could rent it out, but then also we could take advantage of it. And how cool is it that we could have something that would kind of be self-sustaining for us, but also be something that would be like a home away from home. Like, we could have a car there and we could have, I could keep some of my Loungeflies there. I could have it would be like a home away from home, which I think would be just so exciting because Disney is a home away from home for us. So the thought of this is just like, I'm ecstatic that this could be a possibility, and I'm like so thankful and grateful and excited, and what a crazy thing that I never dreamed would ever be possible, but we just really, really buckled down and like really focused on it and thought, maybe this is what we want to do. And so anyway, it's a big audacious goal, but at a minimum this year, it has to be fully researched and figured out, because this pool of money that we've been hoarding and saving for this has got to grow in some way, whether that be a direct investment in a property or whether that be in stocks or bonds or whatever we want to do. The decision has to be made, period. So we have to get to that point. So that is the number one goal for me this year with this sort of big audacious goal, is to make that decision, and possibly when we're down there next, go and look at some properties or meet with some real estate agents or possibly builders and see what to do and what the next steps are going to be. I can't believe I said that out loud. Not many people know that. So now all y'all know that. So shh, don't tell anyone. Okay guys, I think that is gonna do it for my goals for 2022. Please let me know down below what your goals are for 2022, what you're looking to do with the year and with the time that you have coming up. I love reading your comments, and I will do my best to respond as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much for being here. If you made it to the end of this video, you're the real MVP. Put a hand emoji down in the comments down below. And also, if you have any suggestions or any information that could help me with these goals, I would really appreciate all of your help. Thank you again so much for being here. Happy New Year. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also be sure to subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. TTFN. Bye.